Hello. Sorry, I'm kind of in a quiet mood today. It's the day after Christmas as I'm recording this, and, well, it's been a lot recently. I did my best editing this, but it is a kind of long video, and you might want to settle in if you want to watch the whole thing. Otherwise, I will put in the description where it switches from the yearly setup to the setup for January, in case you're more interested in one of those things than the other. But yeah, if you're interested in staying here for the whole time with me, get a warm drink. I got some coffee. Actually, I had some coffee as I was recording this and as I was voiceovering it and as I was editing the video. I'm tired, okay? So, what should I talk about? I'm in a new notebook for 2019. It's this minimalism art brand, which I have not used before, but I'm super excited. I had the Leuchtturm 1917, kind of like a lot of people do, for the past couple years, and well, I like it, and I love how many pages there are for how thin it is. That size and number of pages does come with the pages being kind of thin and kind of a lot of ghosting. So this year I am trying my first minimalism art notebook, and I'm super excited about it. I thought about using like a Dingbats or Scribbles That Matter notebook, but they both just have too few pages for me, and I go through a lot of pages because I do a page every day, and I kind of need that 200 plus page count to make it through 6 months. Here we go, I'm doing my key here, which I've had a lot of people ask about recently. So here we go. I'll be posting this to my Instagram again so everybody can see what I'm using as symbols. I've got the standard ones and then a couple that I made up there, like the heart for people or interactions, the lined box for reading, the bookmark for writing, and the star for accomplishments, and the sun for resolutions. Although, funnily enough, I do not have a resolutions page in my bullet journal for 2019. I think this year I thought about doing resolutions, but I decided to go with intentions instead and things that I want my life to be like, almost, if that makes sense to you guys. Because I know last year I had a lot of goals, and while I met a lot of them, I also really succumbed to my perfectionism, and I'm trying to kind of nip that in the bud and make my goals, I'm doing air quotes here but you can't see them, for 2019 more about how I want to feel and what I want my life to be like, rather than what I want to do and get done and bang out. I don't know. Just tell me if I'm not making sense, but that's kind of what my intention was for this. That quote there that I started off my 2019 with is from the Billie Eilish song, Come Out and Play. I was listening to that a lot as I was doing this setup, and it's such a mood. It's so, I don't know, like warm and soft and comforting, but at the same time, just like it makes you want to get out there and do stuff. And that's totally what I'm trying to get my headspace to be like for this next year, to to try to get out there, put myself out there, stuff like that, but not to the degree that I'm miserable. I guess I'm trying to temper my introversion with extroversion, as well as tempering my extroversion with introversion. Yeah, I'm trying to be happier. I'm trying to feel better. I had a really stressful year last year, and I'm looking to make this one a little more the way I want it to be. I'm trying to do more things, not necessarily do, more like reach out for things just because I think that they're gonna make me happy, instead of just waiting for things to happen and hoping that I get some sort of satisfaction out of them. Kind of in the last few months, as I've been reflecting on my year and, where things have been maybe not so great, I kind of came to the realization that I have been doing this kind of like not totally making sense thing where I don't do things to have fun or be happy because I don't have faith that I will actually like enjoy them or have fun or whatever. And because of that, I like don't invest my time or energy into doing things that will make me happy, or things that I want to do just because I want to do them. And instead, I've been putting all my energy into accomplishing things so that I can have some sense of security, which, I don't know. I've had kind of a rough year, so I don't have a lot of that right now, but holding myself back isn't going to make that happen for me. And like, of course it's not. I know that in my head. But when I just let these like anxieties run loose in my head without like questioning them, is when I start to feel just not good and very frantic, and I do things that, don't improve my quality of life, and it's just not great. So this year, my main intention is to do what I said and reach out for things that I think I will enjoy, and just do things just for the sake of having fun and being happy and being around people that I care about, and having adventures. This year, well, like this next month, I guess, I'm working on my application to study abroad. I'm looking to go to Cannes for my fall semester, so we'll see what happens. I'll keep you posted, but my stuff might change if that works out to look a little different when I go there, obviously. But I'm very excited about this application and this study abroad opportunity because I am a junior in college this year, and typically you would study abroad as a junior. But last spring, I suppose, or winter, spring, when the applications were happening, I did not feel like I was in a place where that was something I could take on. But kind of after that window passed, I realized it was something that was really important to me. So I decided to do something a little atypical and aim to do it as a senior instead. So that's one of the big things I'm working on right now, to just, I don't know, an objective to accomplish something fun and exciting and interesting, and hopefully learn a lot in a way that is different from the way that I've been learning in my college experience so far. So that's why I have the word adventure there, because I'm hoping I'm gonna have an adventure this year. And then, what else should I say? This page, I was really trying to channel this sense of winter brightness, because it is so dark and so cold. I live in Minnesota, and like, there's a reason it's stereotyped to have very intense winters, because we do. And I think it's super important when you live in a place like that to kind of capitalize on the sunlight and even the gray light when it streams in through the windows. Kind of anything I can get from the sun, I want to appreciate. And even when it's really cold, we do have some beautiful clear days with the sunlight glancing off the snow. And I don't know, I kind of wanted my page to reflect that, because that's what I'm hoping to experience this winter. And I think that's the whole spread. You'll notice that at the bottom of my double-sided index page there, I wrote some little stuff, and that is the width and length of my pages in this minimalism art notebook. I'm really excited about it because it has, I believe, 120 GSM, which means that the paper is very thick and very sturdy. And that's why I bought it. But it does have one thing that I'm not totally sure about, and that is that the dot grid has 38 spaces down where the numbers are and 40 the rest of the page, which means that there's like dots where the numbers are that are missing. So part of the dot grid is like cut off. And like, obviously I have some spatial reasoning skills and I can draw in lines and corners where the dots should be. I don't love how it looks, but it's a small thing. But anyways, that's why I wrote it down in the corner there. I know a lot of people do dot grid spacing pages where they draw out lines and divide it into thirds and halves and quarters so that they can see their spacing, but again, space is always at kind of a premium for me in my notebooks, so I like to just write it down instead of drawing it out and wasting a whole page with that. Not that for other people it would be wasting, just for me, I don't think I would get enough use out of it to justify making that page when I could just write down the numbers and get the same impact. Then I did these mini months here, just so that I could glance back at them when I'm making my monthly calendars. I have this page in my current notebook too, and it is so useful. Even though I only use it once a month, it is so convenient to be able to flip back to it instead of searching up a calendar online or on my phone where the months start with a Monday instead of a Sunday, because you have to search for it. It doesn't just show up, which I find very irritating, because I believe weeks should more standardly start on Mondays, because otherwise you split your weekends in half and it's just 2 lone little island days hanging out on the end of your weeks, and the rest of it is a sea of schoolwork and work and obligations. Whereas when it starts with a Monday, your 2 weekend days are together and they seem like a little more of a vacation from all the stuff you have to do. And here I'm drawing a border because I'm making a very special page where I write a little letter to myself. I thought this was kind of a fun thing to do instead of what I usually do, which is write down a list of intentions, to instead write down something like from me to me that's a little more, I don't know, intimate and thoughtful, just to remember that I'm kind of in a good place right now. I'm on break. I'm not feeling like a crazy stressed person, but instead I'm, I don't know, a little more at peace, and I'm feeling a little more, I don't know, like safe and secure, and like I'm valued as a person and not just a person who does work. So I'm just kind of writing this down to remember how that good feeling feels, so that when I get back to school and I'm feeling not so great, I can look back on this and remember kind of the way back to this mental clarity. If that makes sense. It might just make sense to me, but it's my bullet journal, so if it makes sense to me, it works. And then I just wrote another quote from that Billie Eilish song, because apparently that's what I did on every page here. And then I drew stars, and I used my new sparkly Jelly Roll Stardust pen, and it's this amazing purchase I just made on Amazon, but it basically just lays down clear glitter over whatever you draw it on, so it just makes it shiny without changing the color, which I love, because metallic pens are pretty, but also like not totally my favorite, but this is my favorite, and I love how it looks. Sorry guys, I'm very tired. I've been up late every night with the Christmas presents and the wrapping and the making food and the going out and shopping last minute and the Mario Kart, which wasn't essential for Christmas to happen, but nevertheless kept me up very late many times with my siblings. Also, my little brother Eli and I have been reading together this one book, and it got very exciting last night, so we stayed up and read many chapters, and not only am I tired, but my voice is a little not so much there anymore as well. So this voiceover, this 30-minute voiceover is going to be challenging. What else should I say? I made my key again, or not my key, my index again. I kind of gave up on it halfway through my last bullet journal, but we're back on it again. Just so that I can keep track of all these spreads, because I'm doing more for each month and for the year than I did in my last one. Like this future log, this was my first time using a future log since my very first bullet journal, where I didn't really use it very much. And I decided to do it this year because I'm trying to have a little more agency in my own life and take care of a little bit more stuff as the grown-up that I aspire to become, especially since, you know, I'm like in the second half of college now, and I feel like I should be doing some more stuff for myself. And well, I'm very good at keeping track of my stuff each month. I have been having a challenging time with stuff that is farther out, and of course that's what the future log is for. But my usual response has been to either write it down in my school planner, which I don't always check back at the monthly spreads where I write down those appointments, or much worse, this is very embarrassing because I am a pretty avid bullet journaler, but I don't keep track of my own appointments because sometimes I just let my mom make dentist appointments or stuff, and I just let her tell me when they are, and I don't keep track of them myself, even though I'm 21 years old and I really should be doing that. Anyways, that's what the future log is for this time, is to keep track of my own dentist appointments and doctor appointments and all the stuff that my mom keeps track of for me because she's nice and I'm lazy. So I'm hoping to do that myself this time. Yeah. Okay. Here is my year in Polaroids thing, except it's actually 6 months in Polaroids because a bullet journal usually lasts me about 6 months. So I made January, February, March, April, May, and June, and I made a space to put Polaroid in for each month because I have a Polaroid camera that I hardly ever use, and I want to encourage myself to use it when I go out and do things or when I see people. Just because I think those are fun memories to have. I saw this in Amanda Rach Lee's setup, and I loved the idea, so I kind of adapted it for my own journal. And you'll see I did not like the way that it came out, and I decided to redo the whole thing because that's what I do. I redo pages because I'm a perfectionist. But I kind of have accepted that about myself, that I'm willing to redo pages in order to make them look like how I want them to look like, because then I'm not as afraid to experiment. If I'm like, well, if I don't like it, I can just change it. I don't just have to live with it. Which, that's how I deal with my perfectionism. Sometimes, I guess you could say, you just would not let yourself go back and fix something if you don't think it's perfect. But I do let myself go back and do it because I get a lot out of it when I see my pages and they look the way I want them to. So I wrote down Polaroid memories in this kind of typewriter capital letter font, and then I used the same Micron 03 pen to draw in some stars and constellations to match the other pages that I did, and then use my sparkly pen to go around it. I know a lot of people do yearly themes or just no theme, so that their pages will be useful to them any month of the year and won't have to match their monthly themes. But I just make pages their own themes, and I try to stick to some kind of color scheme, but themes are a little, I don't know, a little too rigid of a framework for me. I could just get bored. And even if I do a monthly theme, I don't stick to the same monthly theme throughout all of my daily pages, just because, I don't know, I think I'd get bored. I might try it sometime though. And then here is my January cover page. I decided to theme it after that same kind of winter brights look that I went for with the 2019 cover page, but with a little more of I don't know, colorful or sunlight kind of thing. I don't know. I just kind of did whatever struck me. I hardly ever make a plan for when I sit down and do these monthly cover pages. I'll pencil it out if it's a layout thing, like a calendar or that Polaroid page, but I just don't have the patience to come up with my whole aesthetic beforehand. I just kind of take out some pictures from my box and go where it takes me. yeah, I just did like a script header on that gold paper and wrote a little quote with my Tombow. And yeah, I'm not like super thrilled about how this page turned out. I think there's just something slightly off with the composition in that upper right hand corner. Like the stars are a little too close to the line underneath the quote, or maybe it's that there's two different colors of pen right next to each other that look kind of attached. But whatever it is, it's not bothering me too much at the moment, so I think I'm going to try to live with it at least until like the month starts, and then see if I want to go back and patch over that or change it somehow or whatever. I don't know. And then at the bottom I wrote not exactly like intentions, but just things that I enjoy about December and January, like things that I've enjoyed in the past month and hope to continue enjoying, because I still have 2 more weeks of break left. And things like coffee and spending time with family are really speaking to me right now. Yep, and then some little vines at the bottom right-hand corner. And then I think that was all I did for that page, because the next thing I did was a quote, again from that same song. I'm a little obsessed right now, but it's wonderful and soft and cozy, and you should all go listen to it. In fact, you should go listen to it, mute me talking, because I'm super tired and I don't know what I'm talking about. And you should listen to Come Out and Play by Billie Eilish instead of listening to my voiceover. Because trust me, she sounds a lot better than I do. And her words are just so pretty, so soft, so perfect for this time of year. Yeah. And then I did what I usually do for my monthly calendars, where I Tombow over the edge of the paper and stick some cardstock to it to kind of make something that I can grab onto as a sidebar. And I used the same gold paper and trimmed the edges. Yeah, see, that January cover page doesn't look too bad, does it? Like, it looks really good at a glance. It's just the more that I stare at it, the more I'm like, there's something wrong. But you guys don't have to stare at it, because it's not your journal, it's my journal, and I have to deal with it. So maybe I will change it. I don't know. Also, a lot of these stickers and washi tapes that I've been using were sent to me by my very beautiful and talented friend Madeline, who has the account Whiskey Bug on Instagram, and you should follow her too, because she was responsible for a lot of this aesthetic, and if you liked this, then you'll probably like her stuff too. Yep. You will notice that I patched over the first row of days because I accidentally started in the wrong place, which is extra funny to me because I spent so long on all those little mini months where I wrote out all the days of the month in a little grid, and I didn't get any of those wrong, and I did all 12 months twice. None of them were wrong, but the very first monthly spread I did, of course, I got the days wrong. But I fixed it after the first row, so it's fine. It's kind of funny, that paper that I used to patch it is from a Muji dotted notebook, and I used it to patch my Leuchtturm too, and it matched the paper color pretty much perfectly. So that kind of tells me that the paper in this minimalism art one is a lot brighter, a lot whiter. And personally, I'm kind of excited to see how it looks with everything, because that was kind of another one of my pet peeves with my Leuchtturm, was that the paper was very ivory, very kind of dark in a lot of my pictures, and I'd have to turn up the brightness a lot when I would post pictures of my pages to Instagram. So it's kind of nice to have it not be dark. And what's this? Oh yeah, this is my gratitude log. I have not been doing a very good job keeping up with these the past couple of months, so I'm trying to really make a habit starting in 2019 where I go back and fill out my monthly spreads every day instead of twice a month where I go back and write it all in at once, because that's not what it's meant for and it doesn't really help me reflect every day. And then I stuck a little photo in there that I didn't have room for in the monthly spread. And then I wrote the word January over my pink Tombow pen because I didn't really think about that I should have written gratitude and I instead wrote January. So it looks like this is my monthly log, even though it's not. It's just a gratitude thing. I can't really do the listy monthly logs. Like, maybe I could during the summer or something when I don't have, like, multiple places and times to be every day. But during the school year, I have to have the calendar set up so I can have multiple lines to write down my classes on. Because sometimes you have, like, 3 classes in a day because your scheduling didn't work out. And then I need my calendar spaces. Oh, and then there's another one of those stickers. Good things are going to happen. That's such a nice sticker. I'm so glad I put that on the gratitude page. I was looking for room for it on the monthly spread, but I could not find it. Yeah. And then I did like layered photo thing here on my January books to read list, which is kind of fun because I usually just do 1 photo, but 2 seemed fun for this month, so that's what we're doing. And then my usual date and title columns for the books, the date that I start them, finish them, and the title with the author's name at the end. And then I use my glitter pen again. And then this is an idea that I got from Whiskey Mug on Instagram, Madeline, where she does this amazing thing that I never would have thought of, where she does stamps at the beginning of the month for each day of the month, and you can track a habit by coloring in the stamps. And I have never done one of these, like, you color in a decoration for every day kind of trackers, so I'm super, super excited to try this out. I'm using it to track my physical therapy exercises, by which I mean I at least do like a 2-minute plank every morning to kind of keep my back under control. And then this is my final flip through, virtual flip through, since it's just the photos. But yeah, I am super, super excited to get into this new notebook, and I don't know if I'll be able to wait the next few days until 2019 starts and I get to try it out. I guess if you like the video, leave a like or a comment. I love to talk to people in the comments of my videos or other people's videos sometimes. And yeah, I guess this is it for my 2019 in January setup. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye!